Hey guys, it's Katie, it's Tuesday, and you're watching Your Closet Case. Right now I am on campus because Steph is finishing up her research for the day. I have already worked a fair amount, but she is trucking and she wants to show you a little bit of what she does. So Steph, in 30
Hi,
seconds
guys.
or less, say what you do.
Okay, show them the microscope. This is a microscope. It's a dissecting scope. And I am dissecting these little guys. They're called limnaeids, which is a type of snail, for a certain type of trematode, which is a type of parasite called C. flabelliformis, and schistosomes, which are also trematode.
Very, very entertaining. Okay, well, let's get down to business. Um, Two announcements right before we get into it. Um, Last Friday, Steph had a migraine. I wouldn't let her look at the computer screen, so she could not make a video. She tried on Saturday, and it never uploaded. So, uh-oh. Um, And yesterday, Evan had a big emergency that just kind of came out of the blue, so he could not make a video, which is fine, and our hearts, yeah. I was too late for sub on both of those cases, so that's it. So this week, we'll just go right into it. We received a question on Formspring. Our little theme topic for this week is coming out now that you have confidence, now that you kind of have developed your identity and developed a strong understanding of your sexuality. Uh, Other questions that came in kind of revolved around this. Maybe at first you told people that you weren't gay, and now after, gaining some confidence and gaining a better understanding of who you are, how do you approach coming out on, these terms of confidence? Um, the question, I will read it since none of you guys have heard it yet this week. It says, "Hey, my name is Cian, and I am a lifeguard. And one of my best friends, which is a gay female who I work with, asked me if I was a lesbian because I kind of hinted at it, not on purpose. But I got scared, said no, even though I think I am. How do I bring it up again? I really want to. I'm ready now. I know who I am. But I don't want to just randomly say, hey, I'm confused on who I am. Will you help me? So kind of going from that, we kind of brought together this let's come out now that you kind of have things figured out. Even if not completely, you're kind of in a spot where you're ready to start telling people. And that's great. And I hope that a lot of you guys are there, even though I think it's almost even more scary than figuring out who you are, because when you're figuring out, it's more like you're frustrated and you just want to know, and then once you're like, okay, this is kind of who I am, and your identity is gaining momentum, you're kind of like, oh, I gotta tell people now. And I think a lot of times, at least for me, I was really stuck at one end of like my thoughts and feelings. I wanted people to kind of like get me in a situation where they're like, geez, Katie, are you gay? And then I could be like, yeah, I am. But it never works out that way. And also, because when people do say that, you're like, uh. So, um, on that other side, you also just like, how do you approach it? And that's a huge question, because unless your friends or your family are really like activists and always talking about like kind of like what's going on in the news or like culture and stuff, a lot of times like gay themed conversations don't come up just on any sort of conversation. So I guess I would just start off, and it always depends. I mean, you can start off by, just being like, hey, how do you feel about, gay marriage, or, like, what, but you should know if you're coming out to them, so let's say actually that you already know that they're going to be, maybe there's someone that's kind of like been like, are you gay? And then you're like, no, mom, I'm not. And then now you're ready to say, okay, mom, I am. You could start off that way by saying, again, and I mentioned a lot of steps in my last video that I also feel like could apply to this week. So go back and watch it. It was about coming out to people that are, really homophobic. So that's like, I mean, it's always good advice for anyone, to always just be in a situation where you're comfortable. Talk to someone that is going to, at least give you the courtesy to share your feelings while you feel safe. Um, and so once all of that is established, you can go into it like, hey, mom, friend, dad, brother, sister, whoever. Um, I remember that one time when you asked me if I was gay. That's kind of like the blunt way to say it. I mean, you can kind of beat around the bush and be like, what do you think about gay marriage? And then it's always gonna suck, and it's gonna make your heart race when that time comes when you need to be like, I'm gay, and it's like the hardest sentence I've ever had to say in my life. But it does get easier as time goes on, and it's always easier in specific situations. But I would just kind of bring it up eventually, and just give, ask for people to kind of respond respectfully to what you have to say. Um, and if it's a situation where you want their help or advice on it, I mean, that's great, because obviously you're going to them because you know they're going to give it to you, or you aren't going to go up to like someone that you don't think will give you good advice. So I don't know. I've kind of had a long day, so this is probably not very substantial information, but I don't know, Steph, is there anything I need to add? Don't give away what you're gonna say on Friday.
I'm gonna be selfish and I'm gonna keep it all for Friday, so you guys better watch.
Alright, well, do you think I should elaborate on anything?
No, I think you did beautiful, baby.
Okay.
Baby girl.
Well, that's it. Just, I guess, long story short, it's always gonna be hard to come out, and there's really no easy way, and even when you prepare for it in your mind or your head, or if you write it out, it's gonna come out stuttered and awkward and, like all slurred together in like a big sentence. So, give it your best shot. If you know that they're gonna be well receiving, that's always helpful. But I'll let you guys go, 'cause I'm done. So, enjoy your week, guys, and I will see you around the bend next Tuesday. Happy July. Wow. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I certainly did.
And if they're not American.
And for those of you guys who aren't in the USA, happy Independence Day when that time comes. That's it. It was an awkward smile because I thought I was done, but not. So